What surprised me most about Wonder by R.J. Palacio is when Julian and Augie, they go into the forest, and Augie gets bullied by these older kids because of how he looks. But then, the friends of Julian, they actually come to the rescue and defend him. It surprises me because it shows that there are actually really good people in the world, and even though you think that they're bad, they actually show a different side of them, and they can become your true friends for life.
Yes, it reminds me of Tall Story by Candy Gourlay because both of the main characters have been bullied and outcasted because they look differently. They've been separated from the main group and they're like the odd one out just because they don't look the same as other people, and they're often underestimated because they look different. But they both show perseverance in how they act, and eventually they become part of the crowd.
Yes, I would read another book from the author Francis Burnett because his book Secret Gardening was very interesting and had a good moral lesson. This book was interesting for me because the garden felt very magical and healing. The kids that went to the secret garden suddenly got healed from whatever sicknesses they had. I also enjoy reading nature-related stories.
In the book Wonder by R.J. Palacio, the scene that stuck to me the most is when the principal was talking to Julian about his behavior. I like it because, you see that bullies are even going through their own internal pain, they're suffering, especially because of their house life, their home life, because of their parents, they're like forced or whatever. And you can see Julian actually being like sorry. And it shows how even bullies can develop, or character development,
So in my book, Harry Potter, Prisoner of Azkaban, I really wonder what happened to Sirius Black after he went away, because in the end he went away, right? So I wonder what was his life after that, because he's still a fugitive technically, because he was just broken out. So did they find him again, or did he get cleared? So yeah.
My favorite part of the book Song for the Whale by Lynn Kelly is when Iris and her grandmother go on a cruise ship to find 355. I like this part because they do a lot of things in the cruise ship together, and then Iris learns more about her grandparents' life. Iris also finds new friends in the cruise ship despite being in debt, and then it's exciting because when they get closer to Alaska to find B-55, he doesn't feel alone.
If I could ask the author, R.J. Palacio, of the book Wonder, then I'd probably ask him, how did you get the inspiration for your books? Because August is such a very interesting character, and he goes through a lot of struggles, and I'm curious as to how the author could picture himself in that type of situation. Was he also in that type of situation? Did he experience the things that August experienced? Or yeah.
Yes, I would reread The Prisoner of Azkaban by J.K. Rowling because it's one of my favorite books. It's also part of my favorite series. As a child, it was the first books I've actually accomplished, and it's what sparked my love for reading. Every time I read the book, I fall in love with it more. From the characters, from the plot, and from the plot twists. So yeah.